Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Commander review. Today we are talking about Rubinia Soulsinger from the Legends set. Rubinia is a legendary fairy, 2/3, that costs 2 generic mana, 1 green, 1 white, and 1 blue. And I'm going to read off the card you guys are looking at. This is the version that I have from the Commander Anthology. Is the one that I got it in, but I think that's the original Commander set. I don't remember. You may choose not to untap Rubinia Soulslinger during your untap step. And then you can tap Rubinia to gain control of target creature for as long as you control Rubinia and Rubinia remains tapped. So very similar to the white, black, blue version of this effect. I cannot remember the card name all of a sudden, but man, that card is powerful, and it was one that I already reviewed. Oh my goodness, what was it called? No, not Halfdane. Halfdane was a shapeshifter. Lady Evangela. No, not Lady Evangela. Is it one we haven't talked about yet? Oh, it might not be one we've talked about yet. This might be in the upcoming Ice Age set. Oh, very cool. So this will be one of the first of its effects. Anyway, you can steal creatures with Rubinia and keep them for as long as it remains tapped. Let's go over the rulings more in depth about that. If Rubinia Soulslinger leaves the battlefield, you no longer control it. That was one of the requirements. So the duration of the control change effect ends. If Rubinia Soulslinger stops being tapped before its ability resolves, even if it becomes tapped again right away, you won't gain control of the targeted creature at all. The same is true if you lose control of Rubinia Soulslinger before the ability resolves. So let me just go back just to show you guys. Gain control of target creature for as long as you control Rubinia and Rubinia remains tapped. So again, it's one of those, because of how it's worded, it is worded in a way that you have to always maintain control and always keep Rubinia tapped. There's no getting around that. The same is true, Once the ability resolves, it doesn't care whether the targeted permanent remains a legal target for the ability, only that it's on the battlefield. The effect will continue to apply to it even if it gains Shroud, stops being a creature, or would no longer be a legal target for any other reason. So if it was a vehicle and it turned back into an artifact, you still gain control of it. Because all it cared about in that moment was that it was a creature that you could target. Once it's satisfied with the needs of it being a creature, it doesn't care afterwards. Just so long as Rubinia is under your control at all times and remains tapped. That's all it cares about. Okay, Agent of Treachery is the card I chose to synergize. You are taking a card with Rubinia. Agent of Treachery will steal another card when it ATBs. If you can get one more permanent of your opponent's, then you can start drawing 3 cards every turn and really run away with the game with these 2 cards. The deck that I am putting Rubinia in is a Bant or a white, blue, green tap, untap shenanigans deck. So Seedborn Muse is really going to be the headliner of this deck, with Drum Bellower being a second runner-up, which is not on screen here, but does a very similar effect. So all these creatures will benefit for being tapped or untapped, or have abilities that require them to be tapped. And then it's just a value engine, and you run away with the game as fast as you can. If you wanted to build around stealing and copying your opponents and really just playing whatever your opponents are playing, which is a really fun aspect of this game, is you bring a deck that's always at the same power level as your opponents because you're playing with their cards or copies of their cards. So Sower of Temptation and Debt of Loyalty can just straight up steal cards from your opponents. Progenitor Mimic can become and then make token copies of a creature on the battlefield, which is very cool, especially if you steal the creature and then you copy it. Very powerful. And lastly, not a lot of white fairies. Well, there are a lot of white fairies, but a lot of the fairy synergies are in blue and green. So you could do Fairy Tribal, with the added note that white and blue have a lot of benefits for flying creatures. So you actually could build a really strong Fairy Tribal deck in these colors. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, because I think that would be really cool. Blue and black is primarily the Fairy Tribe colors because of Lorwyn and Eldraine. But man, Bant fairies I think would be really fun, really cool. So let me know in the comments below. That's going to do it for Rubinia. Fun ability. It is a stealing effect though, so you're gonna get a big Ash just scared me. Ash just got a big target on her back. And you'll get a big target on your back with Rubinia, so you better watch it. Good heavens. Anyway, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!